it says. Yay! From save point. Okie dokie. I guess I'll check the volume a little bit. Alright. So, where we are now is Mystery Man 2 with, Meekins. Right. Oh boy. Boy. Just getting right back into character voices, I have to think for a second, what did I do for his character voice? I don't know. Consistency is a problem with me, especially when it's been however long since I last did Meekins. Anyways, there's one thing that proves the man was Detective Goodman, sir. To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card. An ID card record. I see. I have the ID card record right here, Your Honor. Seven at 420. Miles Edgeworth. Anyway, the ID used at 514 is that of the victim. Just before the crime. Yes, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transferal. Why are there so few people using this room? This particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases. Special cases? Extremely violent cases involving police staff. They have a locker room dedicated for police-based violence cases? Only those? Really?
Where are you?
This is just after, Meekins, this man, or whatever, number 2.
Huh? Alright,
Or part 2.
Mystery Man. Mystery Man 2. Okay.
It is about proving Detective Goodman based on the ID card records.
Okay. Yep.
Just hearing that makes my hair stand on end. Me too, although it doesn't make much of a difference. There were only a few cases up for transfer there, and most were cleared up by noon. Right, I see. Now let us move on to the cross-examination. Alrighty. Mystery Man 2. Is there any hint on what I should press on just so that we can get this case over with, baby, please?
No hints for you. This will take the next 7 years of our lives.
No!
It's really, you should be thinking. You must think on your head. You must look at the evidence you have, you must look at the statements that are made, and then you must figure out what goes with what.
Okay. Hey, Midnight, how you doing? I'm doing good. How are you doing,
Andrew? I'm fine.
He's just singing to himself.
Shut up. No, I'm not.
Guess who left his homophobic parents? You are.
Guess who? What? What? Wait, what?
Midnight.
What about him?
Midnight. Guess
Yeah,
who
what
left
about?
his homophobic parents?
I wouldn't know. My parents aren't homophobic. And guys are only slightly.
It's more so my dad.
But he likes me, so that's all I really care
Yes.
about.
Yeah, he does like Andrew, which is a good thing, I think.
Yay.
I'm a free gay now. Good midnight. What? Oh, what? Trying to figure out what, in terms of evidence, points me to the fact that it wasn't Detective Goodman. I mean, we have Marshall's fingerprints.
What is in your evidence?
Okay. I'll just go through it. Goodman's ID, prosecutor's trophy, Edward's knife, parking stub, badger panel, the autopsy report, Goodman's note, Lana's cell phone, parking lot floor plans, crime photo, victim's shoe, switchblade knife, luminol testing fluid, ID card record, fingerprinting set, Goodman's lost item report, evidence room floor plans, rubber glove, evidence locker, unstable jar, Marshall's prints, security video.
Did any of those sound somewhat suspicious?
I mean, Marshall's prints.
What else? Let's. Why don't we read through each and every description of the items, because you're not getting this.
Okay. The ID card was found at prosecutor's office crime scene, it says. King of Prosecutors trophy, give it to Edgeworth. King of Prosecutors at the PD on the day of the murder. Edgeworth's knife. The murder weapon found in Edgeworth's toolbox. Traces of victim's blood, no prints.
Keep going.
Parking stub proves that Edgeworth was there at 5:12, which means that we know it's not Edgeworth. The Blue Badger panel was allegedly dancing in the evidence room at the time of the murder at the PD.
Yeah, we'll be getting into more of that later, but keep going.
Goodman's autopsy report. Death due to loss of blood. One knife wound, died within an hour and a half of 4 p.m.
Keep going.
Goodman's note. The victim's memo found in the car trunk.
Keep going.
Has like 221 SL9 on it.
Yeah, keep going.
On a cell phone, the word muffler was overheard during a call made to Emma at 5:18.
Keep going.
Jeez, the time frame of this is narrow as fuck.
Duh. Keep going.
Parking lot floor plans. Parking lot with the car.
Yeah. Keep going.
Taken by Angel Star after the crime was committed.
Victim's
shoe bears traces of blood from Goodman and Lana Sky.
Keep going.
Switchblade knife. Found at the crime scene wrapped in the defendant's muffler.
Keep going.
Attached.
Keep going.
Luminol testing fluid. Solution used for scientific investigation finds blood traces.
Keep going.
IDs of all who entered the evidence room on 2/21.
Yep. Keep going.
Fingerprinting set recovers fingerprints from handprints for
Mm-hmm.
comparison with fingerprint file.
Yeah, keep going.
Screwdriver, evidence from a past case of Edgeworth's, brought back to his office by Gant's request.
Keep going.
I'd help if I had any idea what's going on right now. It's okay, Midnight. Andrew's helping me? That's the
I'm
best
balancing a tablet on my nose.
I can see him doing that, and actually he is.
Yes, I is.
Okay, anyways. Goodman's lost item report, a handwritten document. The date was 2/21 to be submitted to the chief.
Is that all it says? What did Goodman lose?
It doesn't say what he lost. Wait a minute.
Are the puzzle pieces finally starting to click together?
Oh my god, he lost his ID card.
And what do you need to get into the evidence room?
Your ID card. So, should I present the lost item report on to enter the evidence room?
Yes. It only took
Objection!
20 minutes, I think.
Not quite. It's actually been 12 minutes into the live stream overall.
So probably like 10 then.
Eh, whatever. Did he lose his ID? Yes. Yes, he did. Wait one moment, Officer Meekins. I'm not good at waiting, sir. Clearly. Hold up. Had to reply to a text. I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene. That makes sense. When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. I mean the other crime scene. The underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card. Did anyone see the All-Star Season 5 Queens? I did, and I am excited for this season of All-Stars. A lost item report? It's only half completed. But it shows that Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out this report. Let me guess. You believe this something is to be his ID card, right? I can't say for sure, but there is a high probability. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card. Order. So now, what does this all mean? It can only mean one thing. It doesn't require much thought. The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card. Okay, Kaylin, time for dinner! And Will and Grace. Order! 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 Does the prosecution have a response? I have only one thing to say to the defense. Bravo, Miss Wright. Bravo. Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. At 5:15 p.m. on the day of the crime, the man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright? Actually, there's a third. How the fuck would the timing line up? Because Goodman was apparently already dead in your trunk in the prosecutor's office parking lot. Yes. What's he up to? That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in this video is a fake, then the murder in the evidence room is also fake. I mean, That was the general idea, right? That does clear things up, though. In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of the murder. That is... Well, I guess that's right. Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago you seemed content to be pointing your finger around. This isn't good. Well, it seems you finally realized exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove. Explain yourself, Mr. Edgeworth. The defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video is a fake, which means a murder did not take place at the police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime. So the real crime can only take place at one location, the underground parking lot. Or, you know, it could have technically taken place before the underground parking lot, because the body was just sort of there. But I guess because of all the blood there, or supposedly because all the blood was there. Anyways, the underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. The murderer being Miss Lana Skye, the defendant. Allegedly. The evidence is compelling. A trustworthy witness. I thought we proved that, Miss Lunch Lady was not, in fact, all that trustworthy, but okay. Observe the moment the defendant used the murder weapon. Are you sure about that? Ah! I thought we moved on from the Lunch Lady's testimonies and stuff because of the fact that it was a dead end. I knew that testimony was way too shabby. It was all a trap from the beginning. The activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekins encountered? And where did this person disappear to? However, this trial's purpose is to examine only the murder of Detective Goodman. Just so, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, you have to do something, or else Lana... Fade to black. What do I do? How am I supposed to get myself out of this mess? Object. Wait and see what happens. Clearly I didn't need to object, right? Right, babe?
What?
I hate it when you weren't following along.
I'm
just
really
doing all the reading.
You are.
Do I have to force you to do reading?
No, because I'm not going to. When we get to the second game, I'll get back into reading. But, you know.
Okay. But please, guidance. What the fuck am I supposed to do? Object or wait and see what happens right now?
Well, what do you think you should do?
Do something!
Then do something.
I object! Objection! One moment, Your Honor. What? No, Mr. Wright. Don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven. Of course not. But I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap. What are you talking about? This cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder, clearly. I mean, to be fair, we saw Goodman walk away. We knew Goodman was still alive. Well, actually, we didn't see Goodman walk away. However, it cannot be said that it is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor? If this court were to examine this further, other witnesses will be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared? I'm sorry, Your Honor, the prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witnesses for this incident. This just might be my chance. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand. Mr. Wright, do you mean... Your Honor, the defense would like to request a specific witness. Oh? Whom do you have in mind? Someone we have reason to believe knows the truth. The truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room. The prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply. Very well then. Mr. Wright, this person whom you would have testify. What is his or her name? It's Marshall. Jake Marshall. Thinks he's a cowboy. Take that! Officer Jake Marshall. Why him? I can't let him know anything just yet. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel we should hear what he has to say. The prosecution agrees to the defense's request. Since he was responsible regarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. We shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare. Bang. Is it the lunch lady? No, not quite. We all know she's too unreliable. Anyways, very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is subpoenaed. Usually it takes much longer to subpoena someone, but I guess when you work in the police department, you're possibly subpoenaed in like an hour's notice or less. Anyways, will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time? We will, Your Honor. Court in recess. February 24th, 11:32 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright? Huh? What do you mean? You called for Jake Marshall. It seems you've figured everything out. I haven't figured anything out, per se. Lana, you're the one who knows everything. Emma, you always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright is trying his hardest to protect you. I don't recall ever asking for his protection. How can you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me? Oh, Gumshoe. Gumshoe bursts in. I hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back in a bit. Oh, Detective Gumshoe, what was it? You've got a lot of nerd, pal, making a detective run all around while on duty. And to top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Sorry, Detective. You better be, pal. Hey. Hey! I didn't see you there, Miss Sky. That's okay. So, have you brought what I asked? Oh. Oh. You mean this, right? My apologies, Detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my request. My name? Oh, that would make sense. Technically, to be fair, the defense and the defendant can request, I guess, under the lawyer's name. It's kind of roundabout, but it kind of works. Did Trump say tested positively for COVID? Who the fuck knows? Dick Gumshoe busts in. Yes, he does. Never in a million years would I have thought it was you who asked me. Could I bother you to bring me the SL9 incident files? I'll need them by noon. Talk about crazy. The SL9 incident? But Lana, that's... I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Thank you! Fucking thank you, Lana. Here, you might do well to read them. I can't believe you, the chief prosecutor, were a witness in that case. Miss Sky was a witness? Received file of SL9 incident files. A file of files. Okay. Take it from me, you don't want anything to do with serial murders. Just imagine what that would be like, though, in an Ace Attorney game dealing with serial murders. Oh, what? Now that I brought you your stuff, you're just gonna ignore me? Emma, but why? Why is your name in here? What? My name's in there? I don't know, unless... No, it couldn't be. Lana! This SL9 incident, is that... That's the classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as the Joe Dark killings. The Joe Dark. No, no, Lana, that's over with. No! Emma, wait! She ran away. Ace Attorney Lana. Del Rey? Anyways. You know what? I just remembered. I gotta be somewhere. Sorry, pal, but I'm out of here. Oh, fuck. Jake Marshall, Angel Starr, Damon Gant, Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lana and Emma Skye. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago, except for me. Or, Phoenix. This can't be just a coincidence. Knowing you, you might just be able to figure it all out. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck. Better take a good look at this fucking file. You know what? Thanks, Lana. Yikes. Save data. Whenever I'm asked if I want to save, I always think of Palm Gets Wi-Fi, that game about the dog that just really wanted Wi-Fi in heaven to go through. I think it was like Tumfur or something. Oh, that poor dog. Died in a fire because she couldn't be bothered. She was on her laptop. Is it just me or is it hella hot in here? Anyways, there's a dog in it that asks, save? And it's always just the most absurd thing. It's just, save? It's adorable and funny. Anyways, bang! The court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. Emma didn't come back. Allow me to call the next witness to the stand, the officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. Witness, please state your name and occupation, and please stop drinking from your flask. Me, partner? I'm just a man, same as you, wandering the trails of civilization, occasionally helping the elderly cross intersections when needed. Oh, I know, you're a patrolman. As for my name, if you listen hard enough, you can hear the howling wind calling it out. To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor. Howling wind? I've never heard Edward described that way before. That is pretty funny, though. Howling wind. Although, the howl. That makes me think of, the fuck was his name? The first lawyer we had to deal with in this game? Yeah, anyways. Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime took place. Is this correct? According to the papers, partner. What do you mean? A desperado's soul is as boundless as the desert sands. No paper can sum it up. Maybe it's best we get on with this quickly. Please share with us. The judge has slowly turned into Snape, I just realized. So that it can differentiate all these male voices as much as possible, the judge has slowly turned into Snape. A deeper voiced Snape. Is it bad that Alan Rickman would actually make for a funny judge? Recipes. Anyways, please share with us your testimony on the day of the crime. In English. You should say modern English. Anyways, day of the crime. My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard. I thought it was the evidence room, not the morgue, dude. They said it was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. If I remember right, I was at a street side saloon at the time it went down. Dude, you were off duty at a bar. I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time to hit the trail. I can't say I particularly care for your attitude. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. Okay, Stubbleface. Wait a minute. What do you mean by 2 security systems? I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader. I reckon even a cowpoke like you knows about those. Yes, well, what about the fingerprint-activated locks inside the evidence room? Fingerprint-activated locks? What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those? He's not being very helpful. He's not that good with machines or with following orders. Everyone's got their weaknesses now, don't they, Mr. Prosecutor? Yes, especially you, who's apparently a patrolman who was set to guard the fucking evidence room? For violent police-related incidents. Yikes. This one seems like trouble. Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours. Dear God, what is up with this? Day of the crime. My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard. I think that's a better descriptor for the fucking morgue, not the evidence room, but okay. Anyways, he did go in at least once. We know that... Actually, no, we don't. I don't know. What was his number, like 7 sevens? Lucky 7 sevens? Would that be Jake Marshall, who left at 4:20 because he drinks instead of blazes it? I don't fucking know. Actually, holy shit, I just remembered. He has a bloody handprint. Also, we should investigate the, Oh, fuck, I can't go through the court record right now. Oh, I can check. Okay, here we go. SL9 incident, Alright. Number SL9 closed. Criminal Joe Dark, crime serial killer, sentenced death. Victims: Edward Jones, Jason Knight, Edith Kirby, Rachel Moss, Jeb Bates, Neil Marshall. Marshall was a name on that name, but I don't know if that actually influenced this Marshall. Anyways, head prosecutor Miles Edgeworth, witnesses Lana and Emma Skye. Executive investigators included Damon Gant and Lana Skye. Okay, so Lana was both a witness and an investigator. Head investigator was Bruce Goodman. Investigators included Jake Marshall and Angel Starr. Okay, this really does go through most people. Literally everyone connected. Miles, Lana, Emma, Damon, Bruce, Jake, and Angel. All of them. Of course, Gumshoe is too new, frankly, to probably. Or just, like, wasn't on the case. But, I mean, yikes. Everyone was involved. And this kind of has some information, but I don't know how much there actually is. Found on a bloody handprint left in the evidence room. It's Marshall's prints. The print had been wiped. Okay, so, besides, the room is protected by 2 security systems anyway. If I remember right, I was at the street side saloon at the time when it went down. I'm just an innocent traveler, man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time I hit the trail. Where should I present that bloody handprint, babe? Because I know this game is a stickler about where you present things. Not just the fact that you present them. I mean, I guess that does apply in the court of law, but still.
Well, where do you think you should present it? What phrase do you think you should present it at?
one of the last two. Either, if I remember right, I was at the Street Side Saloon, the bar.
Well, then you just choose one of those two, and I'm sure it'll be right.
Oh, well, both of them work.
I didn't say that, but you can plead that if you want to.
You're a bigger troll than fucking Minx. RPG Minx.
I really am. I'm Minx, and you're Chrism Nom. Except
Fair
you're
enough.
you're a streamer. Chrism was the streamer, and Minx was just the background troller.
Who did a lot more pre-recorded videos.
Yes.
Also, Chrism is the one who went fucking crazy a lot at the time and had all the bloody noses. I am the
That's
type that had a
you.
lot of bloody noses when I was younger.
That's you.
Anyways, I'm gonna present on the last statement. If this is wrong and gets me a strike, it's on you. Marshall's Prince, objection! I got the blue power-up looking art, so, hopefully that works. Anyways, Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd? That is, you being called in to testify like this? After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime. And yet you dragged me down here. Explain yourself, partner. It's quite simple. Oh. Whoop. You left a very large trail behind in the scene. Or to be exact, a handprint. Listen real good, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crypt. Does he really... Oh, he treats it as a crypt. Okay, that's why he calls it a bone orchard. Even though it's not a morgue. It's just a... It's basically just storage. You could call it a fucking back room, but you know what? Whatever. Anyways, I pay my respects. That is, make my rounds about once a month. Ooh. It's only natural my handprints would be in there. Objection! I only wish it were, officer. But you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Oh, I definitely was saying that in Phoenix voice. Your blood-stained fingerprints were at the crime scene? The blood was wiped away. However, a luminol test clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Marshall? It seems to me there ain't a person in this room with a head on his shoulders. The fuck does that mean? I take it you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall? About the blood-stained fingerprints? Handprint, but sure. Very well, you may begin your testimony about your fingerprints found at the scene of the crime. Blood-stained fingerprints. Witness testimony. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in that evidence room. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the blood-stained handprint. You're really pulling that fucking card? The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. In the exact same shape of your hand, in the exact same location. Bitch, please. The bloodstain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? See, I had nothing to do with it.
I mean, you never know. It could happen.
We don't have pictures of the luminol, though, do we?
It could happen. You don't know. You don't know Jake Marshall's life. It could happen.
I don't know the murderer's life either.
That's
Anyways,
right.
The witness's explanation appears valid, although there's room for doubt. Life wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner. The defense may now cross-examine the witness.
Oh, they may not.
This guy's hiding something. I can feel it. Now's my chance to prove it. Edward looks more and more irritated. Alright.
Oh, yeah.
Found at the crime scene wrapped in the defendant's muffler.
Since I want to speed this along ever so slightly, press the last statement, and then now it'll be time for you to show evidence in the video, which means you're going to get to go back and forth and forward and backwards and up and down and
Alright, press the last station.
pause and
Hold it! How did you know that?
your face.
I may be a loner, but I still do my job. I keep up on the reports. There was a bloodstain at the scene, thought to be left by the murderer. That's right. It was found in Detective Gumshoe's locker. However, no fingerprints were detected in that handprint. Oh yeah, I think we tried that too. So that would mean the murderer wearing gloves happened to place his hand on top of Officer Marshall's handprint. That's the only logical conclusion. The fuck is the voice I'm giving him? I can't let him squirm out of this one. I've got to find something decisive to tie Officer Marshall to this crime. Where was I supposed to present evidence? The tape on...
I don't think you pressed the last statement.
I
What's
pressed
the
the
last
last statement, didn't I?
What was the last statement?
Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves?
No, that's not the last statement. The last statement is, see, I had nothing to do with it.
That's not where we're at, babe.
Bloodstained fingerprints, that's where we're at.
Is this just different because of the fact that you're following through for the newer game and they have changed things?
No. Oh, wait, after pressing fifth statement. Is that the fifth statement? 1, 2, 3.
The bloodstain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated.
Alright, now you have to press that, and now and then press that. Whatever.
Okay, hold it.
Hurry up!
They're as different as night and day. Kind of like cereal and cereal. One's got to do with breakfast, the other's a type of murder. Behavior, really. Well, I mean, you could just call it serial behavior, not just serial murder. But anyways, he is right. Although seemingly alike, they're totally different. I don't see what homonyms have to do with this. That's not it, babe. Are you ahead?
No, I'm doing the right thing. Now press the other statement, dummy.
Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves?
Yes,
How
now
do you know that?
Just skippity skip.
I keep up on our reports. Bloodstain left by the murderer. That's right. Found on Detective Gumshoe's locker. However, no fingerprints were detected on that handprint. So that would mean the murderer wearing gloves happened to place his hand on Marshall's handprint. I can't let him score out of this one. I've got to find something decisive to tie Officer Marshall to this crime. Does this start with, like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in that evidence room?
Yeah.
One of them just happened to be on the same place as the bloodstained handprint.
Hold on. It's only a bloodstained handprint. The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprints was by chance.
What's the next line?
The murderer touched the locker. Wait. Yes. Did you... You didn't press... Did you... You pressed,
I've pressed on the last two statements now.
Well, then, press on every single one of them. Aha, that's why.
Oh.
You need to press the first one, too, dummy. That's your fault, because I didn't know that. Yeah. I don't know.
That's because you, how did you put it, pay your respects once a month? Yeah, that's right. That and one more thing. That locker happens to be mine. What? What do you mean? I mean what I said. That's the locker I used when I was a detective. The locker I still use. All that's in there now, though, is a heap of broken dreams. Yeah, because he kind of got demoted to a patrolman and evidence room guard. I see. It'd be strange if my prints weren't all over that locker. Apparently his fingerprint data was never changed. He must have been using the fingerprint lock without even knowing it. Marshall's fingerprints updated in the court record. Dude, yikes. Are you starting to get the picture, partner? The picture? The seal of blood. In the desert, it's just food for the buzzards. There's only one reality, and that's this. The security tape. So long as my trail isn't in there, you can't say otherwise. This isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Please consider carefully where you're going with this cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Now then, continue your testimony, Officer Marshall. Too bad it wasn't me in that video, right, partner? Now present the video on that statement.
What?
Present the video on the too bad it wasn't me in that video, right, partner?
Right. And yeah, we're gonna go to explore the video. Right.
Objection! Your Honor, what do you think about the witness statement? I'm not sure I follow. It clearly contradicts the, I thought... You don't sound very convinced, Mr. Wright. Objection overruled. That didn't work!
What do you mean that didn't work?
Do I have to press on it first?
Press on what?
Too bad it wasn't me in that video, right, partner?
Yeah, dumbass. What did you think you had to do? You have to press on it, and then that gives you the ability to go through the video and find evidence within said video. Duh. You dumb.
I'm so confused by doing this out of order! Because
Fair
you
enough.
decided to skip around.
This is why when I was playing it on the PlayStation, I just skipped everything. Because
What do you mean by that? You want to tie me to this crime, isn't that right, partner?
Can't stop.
If so, the video is the only direct evidence you have. Objection! But that video is next to useless. It's full of blind spots. Blind spots? Places you can't see. The camera's panning back and forth. The floor isn't shown. If someone was familiar with the camera's position, he could leave the room without being caught on tape. Objection! We don't have time for your speculations, Mr. Wright. Dude, you're in a courtroom. You are all speculations, Edgeworth. Shut the fuck up. That is one of the biggest breaches in reality that this entire goddamn game has gone to. Oh my god. I have problems with the way that the Ace Attorney series does law. It makes for interesting stories and stuff, but oh my god. Get over the, we don't have time for speculation early on in the game series because of the fact that this is all speculation. That is all a defense attorney ever does. Or a prosecuting attorney, for that matter. Ay. That's my hot take for the day. Anyways, well, Mr. Wright, if you can show us evidence in this video that indicates Officer Marshall was present, please do so now. Show evidence, babe? Yeah. Very well.
What?
Allow me to point out your mistake, Officer Marshall. Tread carefully, Mr. Wright, or you might wind up being the one making the mistake. Well, duh. Bang. Well, then let's have another look at the video. Show us this incriminating evidence of the witness, Officer Jake Marshall. Where the fuck is the evidence, babe?
Do you mind? I'm looking at Amazon tablets. I'm kidding. Not really. I am looking at Amazon tablets because I want a new one. Don't get me wrong. If Destiny ever watches this, I do appreciate you giving me your tablet. It will be a nice placeholder until I get my actual, real, good tablet. I forgot to mention another drawback of this. By the way, it's self-updated and gave itself, like, I guess an update down. Now the music app works, so I'm much grateful about that.
Oh, that's nice.
But there's only fucking 4 gigs of available data, so fuck me. Because it's
After downloading all of your stuff, or is
no,
that because
just
of
in
existing
general.
stuff?
I guess it's an 8 gig tablet, so
Oh.
after that, it's only 4 gigs available.
Yeah.
No.
Has there been a gay Phoenix Wright character? Depends on who you think in Phoenix Wright is gay.
Ow. Hold on, because...
I mean, if you ship Wrightworth, then there's that. I thought you were looking at tablets because you're balancing it on your nose. Good memory.
That too. But...
Yeah. Quick backstory for Andrew's tablet. His last one kind of
died.
went kaput a couple weeks back, and he's gotten a new one from a friend. Or
somebody, she gave me hers because she never used it, so...
Yeah.
Yay. Makes me feel
nice
good.
To see something go to good use.
Yeah,
reuse.
and don't get me wrong, I do very much appreciate it. It's still trash. That sounds really mean. It's small, it's very old. Not old, it's like 2015, I think? Which is so funny to me that it's not as old as the tablet I used to have, and yet that tablet ran better and was just better.
This one probably only has 1 gig of RAM.
Yes, I know, but my point is still the fact that an older tablet, a 7-year-old tablet runs better than a 5-year-old or some younger. It confuses the hell out of me. But
I am somewhat amazed that Minecraft is able to run with 1 gig of RAM. But I guess
it was running, but it was like
bad.
Oh, not bad. I'll wait till I get a better tablet before we play together again.
Okay, babe. That's fine.
Wait a minute, signed in. Anyway, I've got so much going on. I need to buy. I need to buy a new tablet, but anyway, what are we doing?
Figuring out if it was Jake Marshall, and oh my god, I just realized how well they actually fucking framed this.
Duh.
Because we don't get to see faces all that much. Using that because that fucking flag is in the way.
Yeah, I know. There's a whole point about that.
Oh my god, there is so much blood on the guy's shoulder.
Oh.
Oh. That is so tragic. I was looking to see if we could see any remote semblance of a face, but... Anyways, where am I supposed to point out that this is Officer Marshall?
Dear, you must figure it out. I mean, not figure it out, but it's like... Sorry, I'm just trying to figure stuff out. Account settings? Prime order? History? Account settings, maybe? Fine. Let me help you. Although it's difficult not seeing everything, but what are you looking at right now?
The video.
Yes, you're... No, really. I meant what exactly are we looking at right now? In said
The guy in the
video?
white coat looking in the evidence locker.
Mm-hmm. And what are
weird
we
hands.
specific?
Actually, that
Let me put out your
might do well
mistake.
to prove something.
So, do you not see something around the locker area maybe when he's opening it up?
I mean, there was the glove that fell out.
Hold on.
There's his hand.
No, sorry. That's not what I meant for you to point out. Silly. Why don't we rewind a bit? Actually, you know what? Just continue to rewind and start from the very beginning. Start from the very, 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 very beginning.
Okay.
Now, if you're all the way back at the beginning, what do you see?
Okay. The lockers.
Okay.
Including Jake Marshall's.
You just see. So we're looking at Officer Marshall's locker and all the other lockers, right?
Yes.
Okay. Everything looks hunky dory normal. Okay. Let's play and see what happens.
I mean, we already know that Bruce Goodman's locker is open.
I know that's not. Let's keep looking. Something seem out of the ordinary at all?
When the guy in the white coat comes by,
Uh-huh.
did anything change with the other lockers? We don't get a good enough look at his fucking hands.
Perhaps you're looking in the wrong place.
Probably. Oh god. I just edited the height of this window.
Oh my god.
By mistake. No! What the fuck did I just click? I'm trying to edit the size of the window, not play the goddamn game. I hate it when game windows are weird. I'm probably gonna get weird dialogue and a strike now.
Probably.
Thanks a lot, window, not playing nicely. I don't know how. I accidentally, actually it's because the buttons are next to the bottom of the fucking screen. Okay. There, how's that for evidence? Please allow me to apologize for my colleague, Your Honor. He gets carried away sometimes. Yes, well, this certainly isn't a first. Will you forgive him too, Officer Marshall? He's not a bad man, just a bit disillusioned. Of course, I'm not one to gun down unarmed boys. Now Edgeworth is defending me. Guess that means I missed the mark.
No, really?
Let's get back to the cross-examination.
Come on.
No, does that mean I have to go back to the fucking video?
Yes.
Ugh.
I gave you all the hints you
fucking
need.
Insult to injury.
I mean, I gave you all the hints you need, so...
Are you fucking sure?
I am.
Fuck you and fuck this game.
Perhaps you need to look better with your eyes.
I do.
If you did, you would have seen... If you did, you would have seen a very obvious difference in something.
Okay, fine. Let's have another look at the video. He has... Oh, I was about to say, does the blue mascot not have his baton? Was there something weird about the first locker?
Well, does it look weird?
I can't see any differences in the lockers. After whoever it is passes by. What am I missing? Tell me fucking outright. There's a dude touching my butt. Thank you for the somewhat comedic relief. Because I need something light and airy to help me deal with this fucking situation. What, babe?
I said, stop having a guy touch your butt. This is a stream. A decent fucking family stream, you piece of shit.
This is not a family stream. We cannot have family content on YouTube anymore, actually.
You can, it's just you have certain rules and things.
Yeah. I mean, here's the problem with family, quote-unquote, content. Things that are, quote-unquote, family tend to have things that are for both the younger audience and the older audience. We can't have anything for that anymore. Because the stuff for the older audience is completely banned for the younger audience, and the stuff for the younger audience is discouraged so heavily from older audience stuff. And also, kids aren't even really allowed to watch the older audience stuff because of fucking COPPA rules and all that shit. At least on YouTube. It means true family content doesn't really work unless it's film. Which is so irritating.
Anyway, when you watch the video from the very beginning, and you look at all those pretty lockers, and then the man in white comes by, and you look at those pretty lockers again, there's nothing seen out of the ordinary. Nothing at all. Zip, zero, zilch, nada, nothing, not an absolute anything is completely out of place.
After Goodman walks past,
Right.
the first set of lockers,
Mm-hmm. Absolutely nothing is out of place.
it doesn't look like it.
Put on screen share so that I can see that we're looking at the exact same thing.
Share screen. Share screen.
Gonna dress you up in my love. Uh-huh. Right. Okay.
What is the detail you want to point out to me right here?
Let's see. Alright. Let's rewind. Just rewind.
I have.
I know, but
This is the start.
this is the very beginning?
Yes.
This is the very beginning.
Yes.
Okay, press play. Keep going. Mr. Meekins being an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness, it's knife fights and pussy galore. Not really. Pussy galore is such an amazing name and a James Bond character, my god.
Yes.
That sort of wake-up call just... And also, oh my god. Pause.
Oh!
Does nothing look out of the ordinary?
I was looking in the wrong spot!
Obviously so.
You were pointing me to when he was walking past. Technically, he did walk past. He crawled
Right.
under the fucking camera.
Duh. I was pointing you to this. But you've watched the video in full, so you should have seen that anyway.
I mean, here's the thing. My brain filled in the gaps. Probably originally because of the fact that we saw that when we were examining the evidence room.
Anyway, keep going.
Ay, ay, ay. Midnight says he squeezed it. Am I his wife now?
No.
Depends if you want to be a wife. Anyways, bringing our attention back to the security camera is a mistake I'm afraid you'll soon not forget, Officer Marshall. These days are short in Texas, and so are our tempers.
God, that
Could you
is
sum
a
up what you
terrible
have to say in
southern
8 words
accent.
or less?
It's a terrible southern cowboy accent.
He's not really much of a southern cowboy.
He's a Los Angeles cowboy, but he should still have some form of an accent.
I mean, I was kind of doing that earlier. I guess I kind of gave up.
Obviously.
Anyways, very well. You can clearly be seen in this video!
1, 2, 3, 4. You didn't even count, you bastard. You just had to have him do it.
Words.
Because that's exactly 8 words. Not bad, partner.
He clubbed me over the head and dragged me by my hair back to his cave.
Ah!
Cave?
Ah!
Cave?
Ah! Ah! Oh, that
What
reminds
sort
me of
of
an old
fucking-
Looney Tunes cartoon.
Is that something out of the fucking Croods?
You know,
Remember that movie?
Yes, I do. It was a movie.
I found it to be a strange movie. Strangely interesting, but like...
It was a movie. That's really all that can be said about it. It wasn't good, it wasn't bad, it was a movie.
Yep. It had its moments.
Yeah, keep going!
Anyways, not bad, partner. The
I
key
just said
lies
that.
in a certain locker shown in the video. That locker with the white cloth sticking out. That was the witnesses, I believe. Now then, let's rewind the video a bit. We don't see all the screen tearing effects on this, but... Okay.
Because it's a security camera, not a VHS.
Oh, the white cloth is gone. What's the meaning of this, Officer Marshall? When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there.
Ooh.
Then it suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation.
Of course, the only explanation.
Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened your locker when the camera was turned away.
Eh?
Order. I will have order. As you say, hold your horses.
That is
Sorry,
such
partner,
a
but you
terrible
got the wrong
accent.
man.
Imagine if you were doing Lotta Hart. That's awful.
This isn't Lotta Hart.
The point
This
is,
a
it should
guy
still
from
be.
Los Angeles.
It should still be a type of Southern, not Wisconsin.
I can't do that very well, babe.
Learn. You have a boyfriend, learn.
Yeah,
I learn how to do
that strong
Wisconsin very
Southern.
well. I do it real well. Oh, you betcha. You know, I've been getting some real good cheese curds lately. Oh, they're so tasty.
That is the weirdest fucking mishmash of Canadian, North American.
No,
and
it's not North American. It's specifically Wisconsin. It may not be your Wisconsin, but just like
that
one of
is
my,
North
just like one of my,
American
just
City
like one of my
English, babe.
favorite.
That is North American City English.
One of my
Mixed with
own. No,
weirdly Canadian, which is weird.
no.
Canadian country.
You'd be
by the way.
surprised how much Canadian voice
I know
effects
Canadian.
it's like Wisconsin and Midwesterns. They have a
Specifically Wisconsin. But here's the thing: our accents are similar when we are generally city folk. I am city folk. I am not a country boy.
Yeah, well,
Um,
too bad. You gonna speak. You need to
our
speak like.
country people are actually very different.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
sure, but you need to speak like them. You need to speak like a true Wisconsin. Yeah, just like one
we
of my
don't
favorite.
say it like that though.
Yes, you do. Just like one of my favorite Family Guy sketches,
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Anyone like the name Pussy Willow?
No,
I do. Pussy Willow is a lovely name for a cat in Bookcraft. Too bad Stacy
anyway,
Plays is no longer a channel that, well, is a channel that is geared for children. So like no
what?
more. Stacy Plays had a series called Bookcraft. She had a cat called Pussy Willow,
Uh huh.
um, and her channel is now geared towards children. So like, there's no comments. Statistics and stuff kind of don't matter anymore for her channel
Why would she do that? That's stupid.
because of the fact that a large portion of her audience that continued to regularly watch were younger, and that's
Trixie's
kind of who she wants to make videos
yeah.
geared towards.
Trixie also has to put on a completely different persona as Trixie, so technically it doesn't really count.
Trixie is, as far as I
And
know,
when
City.
they're together, like a great example is when like Trixie and James are doing their wig transformation. They're very
You can see little bits of country people come out because of the fact that I think both of them are not originally from Milwaukee, but both of them are Milwaukee drag queens.
no, they're both from the Wisconsin area.
I hate how you fucking say that. I have never heard someone from Wisconsin say it like that
You've never
that
heard somebody
wasn't
say
making fun of someone who wasn't from Wisconsin saying Wisconsin.
you've never heard anybody from Wisconsin saying Wisconsin?
Unless it was making fun of people from saying it wrong.
What are you talking about? Everybody calls it Wisconsin. I don't know what you're talking about. I love going to Wisconsin.
I fucking hate you right now. Georgia.
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 Georgia. That's my favorite.
Georgia.
Georgia is my favorite city in Japan. Oh, you know they have the best. You know they have the best sushi there. Oh, I do. It's so nice.
Georgia. You're so gorgeous.
Oh, you know
Georgia.
Wisconsin is so nice. I do love the cheeseheads. I love those Green Bay Packers. Oh my goodness. Oh, you know what I love? You know what I love? I love a good
Don't you
taco
know?
with some corn tortillas. Oh, I love a good corn tortilla taco.
Ugh, I hate the word tortilla.
Oh, don't you know? Don't you
It's
know I
fucking tortilla. That's an
tortilla?
AA.
Don't you know I love a good corn tortilla? Oh, don't you know? Uh,
Have him say, don't you know?
I already have been. Don't you know? Oh, don't you know? Oh, you know, I've just been having the greatest
Don't you
time,
wish
don't you
you
know?
got the
Oh,
ones
you know, I do love
like
doing all
me?
these accents.
Oh.
I love doing
Anyways,
all these voices, don't you know? It's so much fun. Oh, I love it.
I fucking yay. Oh god.
Wisconsin. Wisconsin, 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 Wisconsin.
So what if my locker was opened? That doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it.
That is such. They're not even trying.
The murderer needed to hide something, so he opened a locker and stuck it in.
Ooh.
It's not my fault he happened to choose mine.
Ah, but there's something wrong.
Why is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man? This guy isn't just playing dumb.
He
He
is
really
dumb.
doesn't know. He really is dumb. I mean, we've been new. I hate to rain on your parade, but you're the only person who can open that particular locker, Marshall. Did you know in Wisconsin we had to serve our apple pie with cheese? Or you have to serve apple pie with cheese?
Ah.
No, that's actually a Minnesota thing if you didn't know.
Oh, I do love Minnesota.
It's either Minnesota or Michigan. Either way, it was introduced to Wisconsin by some people. I think they were from the UP, yeah. Anyways,
Ah.
basically it was people from outside decided to come in and we're like, these are two great things. What if we combine them? And basically, you wind up having cheese platters right next to the desserts.
Oh, this is so funny. I literally just looked up Wisconsin, and the first thing that came up was Wisconsin University. Wisconsin
We're a
University.
college state, babe.
But
Wisconsin University is the biggest
but you're not
in our
listening.
state.
No, dear, you're not listening.
Clearly.
I literally got Wisconsin University.
Wisconsin?
University. The tagline on said page is, "We can't believe it either."
The fuck?
Wisconsin University. Message from the dean. I am honored and privileged to be the 22nd dean to lead Wisconsin University. I believe Wisconsin. I believe. I believe Wisconsin is truly an inspiring place, and I want to ensure that our programs continue to be poised for growth for the many years to come. I look forward to the many adventures and
It
achievements.
uses an A instead of an O?
Yes. Tallahassee R. Payne, PhD, Dean. People don't think it be like it be, but they do.
Wisconsin, the home of the Fighting Sandniks.
Our stats: 75 uncertified professors, 2.5 average GPA, national college ranking dead last, 1 cheek at a time.
It's a website that's all a joke.
Yes, I know.
Oh. The recipe for apple pie is actually, if I'm not mistaken, part of it comes from Germany, part of it is Dutch.
Oh my, no.
What?
No. It can't be the same guy.
And someone just goes and dabs in our chat. Whoever you are, PGM. Whoever you are.
What?
Dab
Thanks,
on the haters.
PGM. Have fun dabbing.
Yeah.
Wait. So. Oh my god?
What?
No, that's impossible. Unless he's just.
Apple pie, do American. It's German and Dutch. Yeah. Honestly, kind of like Wisconsin in general. There are a lot of Dutch and Danish people who moved into the Midwest to be farmer folk, specifically like fruit farmer folk. And there are a lot of apple orchards here in Wisconsin, as well as a ton of German people, or specifically in Wisconsin.
What?
It's somewhat weird.
Is he from Wisconsin?
Okay, but
is he from Wisconsin?
Who are you rattling on about?
Maybe he is. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Who are you rattling on about?
Please let him be from Wisconsin. No, that's right. He's from Florida. So why the fuck does he have?
So can you get Fregante? No.
What?
How use a Luigi board?
How use a Luigi board? Wait, what?
I don't know what you were trying to imply. I don't know where the fuck that came from. Midnight, you were making some references that I don't know. That or I'm not getting the joke.
I'm so confused. Wait, no, faculty. Is it under faculty?
I'm going to continue with the goddamn case because at this point we have stalled for who knows how long.
Wee.
Wee.
What?
Why are you speaking French?
Wait, I didn't even realize Tallahassee R. Payne. Oh my god, wait.
Who? What?
It's a fake website, but is it not a fake website? Hold on.
Search them on YouTube. No, not right now anyways. Maybe later.
Hold the fuck on.
Okay, what are you babbling on about, babe? What?
No! It's really his!
Oh God, what? Oh, excuse me, I just burped
Oh
into the
my
microphone.
god! Oh my god!
What?
Oh my god! I
Explain.
don't know.
Explain.
Boy, I can't wait to make an audio diary for Ola for this. Oh boy. Uh, did you only just click? You only went to Wisconsin University, the website. Do you even look into it? No, obviously you didn't. Because I did.
I
I
did
clicked.
not. I'm
I
thinking
clicked.
of Wisconsin, not Wisconsin. The
Yes, but
fake one that's a joke.
right. That one. You need to specifically be on that one because that's the only one that matters. Fuck Wisconsin University. We're
I'm
talking
not
about
looking at
Wisconsin.
shit right now.
You will look at it because I'm going to make you look at it. Right now. Get on it. Fuck this stream. I want you to show the people right now. Go to wisconsinuniversity.com.
YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming.
Yeah, they'll live.
Fuck off.
Go to Wisconsin University.
I love the fact that it's actually trying to autocorrect me.
I mean, it should.
Oh God.
Just click on the first one.
We
Click on the
can't
first
believe
one.
it either. I am going to put this up on stream.
Well, yeah, I know. That's the point. Just make sure none of your personal information is there.
Yes. We can't believe it either.
Now, did you not? Okay, cool. Did you not look at this earlier? I thought you did.
No.
Oh, you didn't? Well,
No.
well, you should have. You were laughing. I told you. Go back down.
I was
Yeah.
laughing at what you were talking about.
Yeah, go down. You can see like the dean, and then you can see our stats on 75 uncertified professors, and all that. Right.
Dead
Now,
ass.
why don't you
Cheeks at a
click?
time one.
I know. Now, why don't you click on shop?
That's behind your face. T-Pain. T-Pain?
Let me.
Is that a joke?
From Esquire magazine in 2018, T-Pain launched Wisconsin University, his very own fake school. Classes include the history of autotune and the art of sprung. Wisconsin University, which boasts 75 uncertified professors, an average GPA of 2.5, and a national ranking of dead last, is open for spring. T-Pain's hilarious fake school started as a decade-old lyric song, I Can Put You in a Mansion Somewhere in Wisconsin. He sang on his 2008 hit Can't Believe It. The painful rhyme became a meme, and the subsequent university was created in an attempt to do what the internet does best, use viral jokes to turn a profit. The school may be fake, but the branded mugs and sweatshirts it's selling are definitely real. Even if you're not in the market for Wisconsin swag, the website itself is pretty darn funny. I didn't even realize it until looking. The dean is literally T-Pain, but I didn't realize until I clicked on shop and I got sent to T-Pain, and I'm like, wait, is this the actual T-Pain? And then I realized, oh my god, it's the actual T-Pain.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Reverse screen share. What? Reverse screen share? What do you mean? I don't fucking know. I mean, T-Pain did win Mass
No,
Singer, so
I
he
know
should be
he
not, so
did,
should be
and that's
nicer,
good.
yes.
No, I know he did, and that's good.
I find that so funny, though.
I do too. It's very strange.
Ay, ay, ay.
Reverse screen share. What the hell does that mean?
That's what I asked, but anyways. But you're the only person who can open that particular locker. Oh yeah? I call your bluff. You say open that locker, now prove it. Just present the fucking locker as evidence, right? Right, babe?
Yes. Hold on. I gotta go yell at, well, it's too late now, but I gotta go yell at, Toxic.
That you know that you're toxic. Anyway. Take that! Fingerprint sensor? I don't know why I find this funny, but I do. Mm-hmm. We talked about this earlier today. The lockers can only be opened by the detectives they belong to. What kind of crazy talk is this? Well, Detective Gumshoe did mention something about this. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There's even some people in the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks. So, Sheriff, what do you have to say in 8 words or less? Oh, he's pulling out a piece of jerky. I only got 1 word for you, partner. No! Jeez. That fucking almost witch-like blowout of his poncho. Jeez. Order, order, order! Witness, explain yourself! If this is a joke, it's the worst one I've ever heard. I assure you this is no joke, Officer Marshall. Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime. Ole! Oh. Ole, please answer the question. What is he now, a bullfighter? That's alright, Officer Marshall. I believe we can figure the rest out from here. We can. Have a look at these floor plans. There was no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall. If that's so, then where was the witness? It seems Mr. Wright has an answer. That's right. The only possible conclusion. Bang. Well then, let's hear it. Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the crime? Baby.
What?
What circle do I click on? Is it supposed to be V?
Yes.
Okay, just double checking that means victim. Officer Marshall was standing right here. There, but that's where the victim, Detective Goodman, was. Correct, unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in the video is Officer Marshall. That was you dressed up like Detective Goodman. Objection. But that's preposterous. Officer Meekins witnessed the... But that's preposterous. Officer Meekins witnessed the detective at the crime scene. Once he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure. Objection. May I point out, though, that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman. He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted. When I entered the evidence room, I asked him to show his card, sir. Yes, and how did Detective Goodman respond? He suddenly pulled a knife on me. Oh my god, that makes so much more sense. It's been weeks since that, but now everything adds up. Something about the officer's story puzzled me. If the man had his ID card, why didn't he just show it? Unless it was all a misunderstanding and Meekins freaked out because the guy was holding a knife. You know, a piece of evidence that was being moved. But he pulled a full knife, not a broken one. Not one with a tag on it. Anyways, yes, he would have needed it to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it. The answer is simple. He couldn't show it. As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID card. Oh, I get it. If he showed this, his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins would have realized the man wasn't Detective Goodman. Do you have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall? You've got quite an imagination, partner. You got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence. Oh my god. Circumstantial evidence? Oh, of course he's still denying it. He's also a moron. You're gonna have to do better than that to break a detective. You aren't a detective anymore, bitch. You got demoted to a patrolman. Unless you have hard evidence proving I dressed up as the victim. I can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. This is a repeat of lines they just said, like, an hour ago, but okay. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that Officer Marshall dressed up as the victim? Well, Who am I kidding? I don't have anything quite like that. I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. Seems you're the one who couldn't take the desert heat. Ah! This can't be happening. It's so obvious he's the one. But what can I do? It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. When you've run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics. The basics. For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me. Nick, try thinking outside the box. I shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise. But rather I should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise. Why do you think his locker was opened in the first place? What do you mean? There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance it might be discovered later, as it has been. Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker. According to the defense's argument, Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then, after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason. The fact that a white cloth sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that he opened it in order to put that cloth, or whatever it was, inside. So just what exactly is this piece of cloth? Perhaps the video is the key to all our unanswered questions. I don't have any evidence, so this video is my only shot. Very well. Let's take yet another look at that security tape. After committing the crime, the witness opened the locker to put away the white cloth. Please show us why the witness had to open his locker.
Yeah, show him why he had to open the locker.
Would it be the blood stain on his shoulder?
Maybe.
Alright, in that case, I know exactly what to point out. He left the bloodstains on the jacket. It is the bloodstains on the shoulder, right? Baby?
Huh? Yes.
Take that! For some reason, you disguised yourself as Detective Goodman and entered the evidence room. I don't know what that reason was just yet. However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID, you pulled a knife on him instead. However, Officer Meekins panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood. A bloody white coat. Damn, the bloody big head. You couldn't just walk out like that, so you hid the coat in your locker. Not bad, huh, partner? What? Now then, Officer Marshall. Are you ready to tell us the truth? Looks like I underestimated y'all. I hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago. If you were only half as persistent then as you are today, we all wouldn't have to be here, now would we? Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did. All of it, please. Alright. It seems the time has come. The time has come. Anyways, Marshall's confession! I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out and managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room. There weren't any murder in... there wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. So the supposed victim was really you. But there's one thing I still don't understand. Large quantities of blood traces were found on the floor of the evidence room. If no one was murdered, then how could that be? Officer Meekins managed to cut his own hand. My guess is he's the donor. It looked like too much blood for that. I wonder, did some amount of was there like some amount of blood somewhere in the Marshall's confession? Okay. Babe, can I please have directions on this?
What?
Please? Can I please have directions on this confession, please?
No. I can't. Yes. Whiny,
Turning off the
whiny.
screen share, but also I just realized it's dark, so you can't see my sad face.
Yeah, I noticed it got real dark. And
Yeah,
how
it's
dare you
gotten
turn
the
off?
sunset in the last
How
however
dare
long since I
you?
turned on the screen share.
How dare you turned off the screen share?
Also, I'm gonna be real quick right back. I'll let you figure out what to do, and then please direct me. Give me a moment.
Okay.
And then there was light.
For me, no one else, so be quiet.
Well, and me. So
I guess. Well, go through all the what
I
are
had to
the
do it that day.
no,
I just couldn't stand by and let it die.
no, no, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. No,
I wasn't expecting
no,
Officer Meekins.
no,
Managed to escape, and he was
no.
afraid he wouldn't be calling camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15.
Nope. There's one more, but you haven't gotten it yet, I guess. So
What do I have to press on to get a final statement?
I don't know. It doesn't say. Uh-oh, you're gonna have to press every single other statement.
When you say it, you mean, do you even have to ask, partner? The SL9 incident? 2 years have passed since this case was closed. It was going to completely end with transferal that day. Not if I have anything to do with it. That incident's not over. But what did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room? When a case is closed, only the detective who was in charge of it can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself one more time, no matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner. That case is mine. But Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation, but he was part of it. He was one of the investigators. It doesn't matter if he's the lead. He was one of the people who was actually doing the groundwork. Why does he care so much about it? Why do you think him and the lunch lady were, all over it? They were the investigators. They have a motive to be invested in continuing the investigation because it wasn't done. The heads just want to figure out a verdict or something. But if there's actually an investigation and there are missing details, the investigators are going to be the ones who actually care about trying to figure out, is there more shit for us to find? Because they're the ones generally doing all the groundwork. Anyways. That day was my last chance. That's why I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I plan to take out the evidence. Hold it! Why did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman, though? If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transferal, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere. So you did it to fool the security camera. And the detective's ID card? I stole that the morning of the incident. So that really was why Goodman started filing out that lost item report. I returned his ID card. I left it on the floor in the prosecutor's office parking lot. The ID card I found was left there by Officer Marshall after all. So essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight. What do you mean, partner? I mean the fingerprint-activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. I mean, you can sand them off, and they do... I was about to say they kind of do change over time, and with, circumstance, but you can't just change your fingerprints without something severe happening. And it's not ever going to be complete. again without, like, sending him off. Anyways, normally that locker shouldn't have opened. So it opened because the locker glove was... a rubber glove was stuck in the door by chance. Then Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall. Well, duh. He's opened it many times before. To put the evidence in the first place, at least. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out. You pulled a knife on Officer Meekins and tried to drive him off? Let's just say I was a little surprised. I had only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would actually come in during that short time. Officer Meekins certainly is a 1 in a million type of person. Mistaking a detective for an intruder and demanding to be shown his ID. I'll have to think a little more about his raise this year. When did Edgeworth get so much influence? I don't fucking know. Anyway, he threw himself at me, and I ended up cutting him slightly. I'm sorry it had to turn out that way, with me knocking him out and everything. By the way, what happened to your knife? Oh, you mean this one? I don't know what to say. So what happened next? I managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on camera. Press on that one. So you did your research beforehand. Those who go into the desert unprepared don't live long, partner. I didn't think it would make a difference, though. The security tape is erased every 6 hours. If all had gone as planned, no footage would have been left. However, you bloodied your coat in your struggle with Officer Meekins. If someone was in the security room when I came out, the jig would have been up. I opened my locker and stashed it in there. What was Officer Meekins doing during that time? What else? He was sleeping like a baby. So what you're saying is that on that day, there wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. The transitions into some of these statements is pretty nice. In other ones, it's a little weird, but anyways. Press on the final statement. But the blood found on the scene clearly indicates a crime did take place. What are you, blind? The victim shown on the tape is me, and I'm not dead yet, partner. So you stole the evidence from the locker? Actually, no, I didn't. Why not? When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone. What? Mr. Edgeworth, where is that evidence? It's still missing, Your Honor. Oh. Oh. Detective Goodman's locker was already empty. There was the vase that fell, and the glove. That's it! Oh, and the knife. Where were those? I forget. They were somewhere else. Someone else stole the remaining evidence. Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing? Fire away, partner. It's a free country. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer. No, you aren't, bitch! You're on the fucking court stand. Why did you do this? Stealing a detective's ID, injuring a police officer. This is no small offense. Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. It can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary or a demotion again because you're already a patrolman. Not that salary cuts are ever a valid solution. Like I said, this isn't your case. This one is mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with.
Anything!
Anything! My voice is also getting dry.
Well, you know what that means? It's time to end the stream!
Not yet.
Yes, yet.
Not yet.
Yes, yet.
No.
Yes.
The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more. I can't just forget the SL9 incident. You know why?
I don't know.
Press on it.
Oh, sure.
Hold it. But that case was solved 2 years ago, wasn't it? Officer Marshall will be demoted to meter maid. Oh god, that...
Oh
Is that...
no, you were supposed to present something. Oh well.
Oh...
You stupid. You have a new statement. Well, why don't you look through your evidence and see what specifically correlates to whatever he's talking about?
Yeah. Okay. That's the reason the evidence was stored in the evidence room. Joe Dark was convicted for those crimes. One thing I can say for sure, he deserved his sentence. I remember the Joe Dark case. It involved serial murders, didn't it? I don't intend to complain about how it turned out, but there's something that still bothers me. Something went down at that trial. Something no one will talk about. What happened? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out. Why is he so concerned with that incident? Maybe I should present him with what I think his real reason is. I had a feeling we'd wind up here sooner or later. Everyone involved here is related in some way to that case. I'd better take another look at the files. Speaking of the files... Oh. Hold on. I have to get to that actual fucking statement. You know why? Is it the SL9 incident files that we have to present?
What?
Baby, do we have to present the SL9 incident files?
Well, you'd think that makes sense, wouldn't it?
This game doesn't always make sense.
Fair enough. But yes.
It's a video game, of course it uses moon logic sometimes. Even when it's a fucking game about using logic to try and deduce or solve crimes in court. Ay. Oh, the thematics of being both a game and about court. Ay. Game logic, moon logic, whatever you want to call it, it's wild. Anyways, you know why? The SL9 incident files. Objection! Or something. Officer Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident. Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner. Bitch, it don't take much to know! I have the SL9 incident file here. The name Marshall is mentioned here. Yep. And a list of murder victims. Neil Marshall. Are you related to this man? Neil Marshall? Yeah, I'm sure you've heard that name. 2 years ago. He received the same lousy prosecutor award he got. Oh. Oh, that's sad. I'm tired. Make me feel less tired. Ah! Okay.
Hanging up on you now.
Oh. My voice hurts, actually.
Then don't
that was
fucking
bad
do
to
that, dummy.
I mean, at least it wasn't the Clover voice.
You don't get to do the clever voice anymore. Death for the clever.
Someday, I will put that to a new character. Someday, I will put that to a character as equally grating and yet also hysterical and I don't even know what in the future. And I have to find who that character is. I have to find the right one. Anyways, we received the same lousy prosecutor award you got it with. What? The prosecutor? You must be talking about the King of Prosecutors Award. Now I remember. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the SL9 case before I did. That's right. However, he was killed. Not sure if that was an adult fun time scream or a murder scream. Who was Clover? It can be a whatever scream you want. Or it could just be a scream for a scream, loud scream's sake. That's actually kind of what I was intending. But, Clover is a character from the Zero Escape series. She was in the first 2 games, 999 and Virtue's Last Reward? Yeah, Virtue's Last Reward. She had crazy pink hair, wore, like, really short skirts, loved puffy things, Is someone implied to be in a relationship with,
Can we move on? They can watch our Zero Escape series if they want to find out.
Fuck, what was her name? I don't remember.
If they want to know, they can watch our Zero Escape playthrough.
Oh, that Clover. Yes, that Clover. Anyways, Clover! Yes. Alright. That's right. That's right. He was killed. And the case fell into your hands. But what's his relation to you? He was my brother. He was investigating the murders with Damon Gant, chief detective at the time. The group of detectives I was part of worked under them. We were desperate to prosecute the killer. Joe Dark. My brother fought Dark and was killed. That was the first time Dark left behind any evidence. That was all we needed. He was arraigned and incarcerated. The case is finally closed, at least according to the public records. What do you mean? My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dark. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight like that. And that's it? That's your reason for your insane actions? There's more to my brother's death than what the records say. No matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool me. Well, at least one thing's for certain. Now we know what happened at the police department on the day of the crime. That was the last day that S9 case could be reopened. Without a lot of extra bureaucracy, because technically you can... Well, I mean, it was a closed case, so reopening, yeah. Without, like, a massive executive order. You can overturn things, but it's horrible. Anyways. Not satisfied with its resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence. Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Officer Meekins confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled. Yes, that mystery has finally been cleared up. No murder took place at the police department that day. Ding. The things that happen by chance never cease to amaze. At exactly the same time as a murder at the prosecutor's office, this fake murder was going on at the police department. Chance? It's got to be more than just that. So if no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, that means the murderer in the prosecutor's office parking lot was the real one. Which in turn means only one person could have committed the crime. Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky. Objection! But wait, a verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial. Objection! Which is why we examined that incident at the police department today. But there's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There yet remained the mystery of the simultaneous murder at the police department. It seems to me this boy's got the draw on you, partner. All the mysteries at the police department have been uncovered. No contradictions remain. The murder took place at the prosecutor's office. The only suspect is Lana Sky. There are no errors in the testimony of the witness, Angel Star. Oh, Angel's testimony feels so weak, Edgeworth. Why do you bother maintaining it? She's a deposed detective. Why would she feel the need to tell the truth when a lie could very well serve her the same purpose of getting in the good side of the police again? If you have a response, make it one word or less. Ugh. I rest my case. Wait. Fuck. What's the word I'm trying to think of? It'll be a moment. I was so tripped out how that game is basically your girlfriend trying to recreate a test of psychic powers to save herself in the past from dying, but she's in the future setting up the trap. I know, it's so weird. It is so very, very weird. It feels like both a predestination paradox and pre-written time thing. I mean, it goes across multiple universes. It's a fucking mess.
Let's go! It's time to end!
Anyways, well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I don't need to waste my time. Don't waste my time. Disproving the alleged murder at the police department. There's no doubt what I proved today is true. The apparent murder on the security tape was fake. But I didn't realize that would end up proving Galena guilty. Bang. Now then, the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant... Hold it. Emma! And that is where we end it. Fucking great timing, Emma Sky. You're back. Hours later. What have you been stewing on? And what evidence have you possibly collected? We'll find out next week. Hopefully next week. But it's time to wrap the fuck up. Because this case is drawing on for too fucking long.
Yep.
We need to be done. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you want to see more. Hit the notification bell for notifications as to when I go live or when I upload a fucking video. You can check out Andrew's channel on my recommended channels page. You can go back through our stream catalog. We have like the Zero Escape series. We have Night in the Woods. That was a really fun game. We have more Phoenix Wright. All that fun, great stuff with like espers and shapes and game logic in a game that should have lawyer logic instead. Everything like that, you know, yeah. Anyways. Yeah. Oh yeah, June apparently is aware of all other Junes in different timelines, so she is like this omnipotent being. Oh yeah, that's how this work. That's just how they work. It's semi-awareness of timelines.
We put the Zero Escape series behind us. You can go watch our streams where we talk incessantly for about 3 hours.
Yeah, we went on for hours on end.
Yes, many streams, but we've got to keep going.
Many streams. Okay, anyways, let you do it.
Bye.
So, thank you so much for watching all this time. This has been Guy Smith and...
Andrew.
Yes, signing off. Until next time, take care. We'll see you guys.